Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Knights of Andalia. Now I know it has been a long time since the last episode and I do apologise for that. I was feeling a little bit lack of motivation for it, and I was just really into CK3 as well, and I've been playing a lot of that with the new custom series there, the Raiders of the Adriatic. If you like the custom series that I do on the channel and you've not checked out that one yet, then I advise that you do. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a really interesting Viking custom series. But we will now be going back to the Knights of Andalia, where we are High King Lister. God, it feels so weird to be playing CK2 again. It's been a little bit of a while. I may need to refresh what was going on. Now, if I remember, I know that Lord Corbury was causing us all sorts of trouble down here, yes, as we know. And I think that was pretty much it. I know we had a couple of rebellions going on. I think the sisters had something trying to overthrow the High Lords, the Snowfalls, as well as I think the Muds were trying to overthrow the Red Wolves, which, if I remember correctly, both worked perfectly in favour of our king. We'll unpause, we'll let time tick along, we'll see how things are going. So the Greystarks, I think we still had Maynard the Skin Changer in charge. Yes, we do. Perfect. He's got 3 children. We've still got the Rackes, of course, in charge of the Hornwood, who has 4 children, so they're pretty secure. The invitations have been sent to the Lords and Ladies of the Realm to come to the funeral. It's time to prepare the feast and the funeral itself. Oh yes, of course. Our brother Owen was assassinated at the end of the last episode. I forgot all about that. He died under suspicious circumstances. We don't know who did that. Well, it hasn't come to light just yet. We'll continue looking around. We have Lord Winton of the Farthest Fields after his father was tragically killed in that tourney accident against Lord Benfrey. We have Lord Robarb the Cunning of the Rills. My cousin, Tian Erenstar, has expressed a desire to get married and has asked for my permission to find a suitable spouse. I will find someone nice. Right, let's find him a nice bride. How old is he? He's 38. Old gods. He does have a son already. Danes Erenstar has 2 daughters. Well, we want to try and find you someone who's going to be able to give you more heirs, possibly. So let's try and find someone younger. Someone... Okay, we've got a hill clansman here. Old gods. Yeah, we'll go for her. Why not? She will do. Send. Perfect. There we go. So we've sorted that out for him. The best part about preparing for a feast, deciding what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison, boar and duck spices, wine and ale, honey for the desserts, cheeses, and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. We will spend lavishly. We'll spend out that money. The Lancers, we of course still have Lord Benfrey the Bear, who's got plenty of children from a number of lovers, bastard wives, and God knows what else. Lord Danes the Wise has declared Lord Daney the second claim on the Redfort War. Of course he has. What a surprise. I think we still have Lady Sybil the Younger in the neck. Yes, we do. We have the Erenstars, of course. Oh, no, it's not, sorry. The Red Guards in the Crone's Crossing now. Lord Lionel, who's the new High Lord, our close friend. The Greyjaws are Lord Paramounts of the Iron Islands. We've got the Seymours, of course, with Lord Enger of Willowwood in charge of the High Lordship down here. The Red Fork is in under the control of Lord Ob the Able Viperin. We've got the Blackwoods, of course, as well, who own Blackwood Vale, Lady Pera. And I think the Vales, pretty much as we know, we've got the Templetons, who's pretty much under the thumb of Lord Danes. We've got Lord Eldrick of Strongsong, who is still refusing marriage, and he is homosexual, so that makes sense. Our brother Enger is also landed here, isn't he, in the Mother's Embrace now. Yes, Enger. Lord Enger II of the Mother's Embrace. So, yeah, awesome. One thing that we didn't want and think about was the fact about starting a bank. And now that I've changed our focus to the business focus from the rulership focus, it should allow us to do so. Your Grace, for some time now I've been in the employ of Lord Eldrick, but now I seek a better station. I humbly request to join you in Sevensport so that I may serve you. All I ask for in return is a small recompense. Let's have a look at you. Okay, you're a skilled fighter, you're a duelist, you're a decent commander. Redesmere, I accept, yes. I definitely accept. You're pretty decent, to be fair. To the humble High King Lister, peace with you, I accept your marriage for Tion Erenstar. Perfect, right. Yes, if I go on decisions now, we should be able to establish a new bank, which is going to cost us 1,000 gold, but we gain 500 prestige. Perfect. The Bank of the Crown. With much pomp and ceremony, your new bank has been officially opened. Lords from all over Sevensport have gathered at the grand new bank building and have been given a tour of the impressive vaults and chambers that will hold your initial pile of gold. Scribes and coin masters have been hired and are ready to begin issuing loans. May the Bank of the Crown be prosperous. Now, I don't really like that name. That name's a bit shit. Just want the Bank of Andalia, really, don't we? But at least we do have our own bank now. Will we be able to change that? I'll have to have a look into it off screen. What can we do? Yes, we can hire a banker. So we'll do that. In the Summer Islands, women dance in an alluring and exotic manner, and a troupe of such dancers is passing through Sevensport. Do you wish to hire these exotic dancers for your feast or brother's funeral? Yeah, why not? We've got the money. Let's do it. Let's hire a banker then. The banker of the Bank of the Crown has arrived in Sevensport. He goes by the name of Brandon. Okay, he's Andal Northman. He's a competent steward. He's honourable. Yeah, okay, we've got a banker. We have our first banker. Interesting. How do we change the bank? Where would the bank's details come up on? So we've got, obviously, reduce loan interest, hire a banker, review bank accounts. Let's have a look at this then. The Bank of the Crown has had a promising beginning, with several loans already being issued. Now the scribes and coin masters have put together the bank's first set of accounts and are ready to present their findings to the various key holders and shareholders. Overall accounts, list of debtors, list of defaulters, a list of lost loans. Okay, interesting. It's nice that we've now got this set up. It's going to be interesting to see which way this goes. It would be nice if we could change the name of it, though, to just the Bank of Andalia would be better. The wandering minstrel entered the castle singing and did not stop until he found me. With a flourishing bow and one long, sad tone from his lute, he finished his song and asked for my patronage. Yes, of course. We're a generous guy. King Lister is a very generous guy, and the people have arrived for the feast, which is perfect. So we've found the Bank of the Crown in societies. Can we... So we're a shareholder, we're a key holder, we're an envoy, and we're a high councillor. Can we change the name of it somehow? List all known societies, list all members of the Bank of the Crown. High King Lister and Brandon are banker. Doesn't look like we can change it. If any of you know how to change it, please let me know so that we can change the name. The Bank of the Crown, I just don't like it at all. The Bank of Andalia would be perfect, or Sevenstar Bank. I don't know, just not the Bank of the Crown. It's not great, is it really? Can we hire any more bankers? I want to try and see if we can do that. A banker with at least 12 stewardship is hired. So it improves as time goes along. Awesome. I've never really founded a bank before. Odd spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I worked to ensure the food was the best part of the feast. Oh, Odd Harlaw. Okay, nice. At the age of 0, your subject, Arnold Tullet, died a stillborn. Well, that's a shame. Miranda Aaron has used her attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Lord Danes Corbury had her kinsman, Lord Hugo Highstar, brutally and unlawfully executed, and demands that he is brought to justice for this outrageous crime. Lord Danes must be arrested and made to answer for this. I will order... Yes, let's try and imprison him. Lord Danes... Yes, we've done it! Lord Danes II is now safely locked away in my dungeon, awaiting his fate. Excellent. We've actually done it. Lord Athelmore Crescent has used the attendance of the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Maynard Greystock had his king. Yes, he did, so we'll try and imprison him as well. And we've done it. Excellent. Yeah, we've already arrested him. And I am planning a special occasion with my lover, but my wife is quite insistent on alternative plans. Who is more important to me, my lover or my wife? Ignore my wife and go visit my lover. We gain the trait Deceitful. Arrange a ball and invite my lover. Spend time with my wife. Let's go with this second option. And Demeanor Highstar has used her attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present, for Lord Danis, who we've already managed to imprison. Right, so let's open our council positions. I think we need... We'll do that as well. And we've not managed to imprison him, unfortunately. Right, so we need a new High Admiral. We'll go with Quentin Botley for now. The scale of banditry and crime in Willowood was too much for Lord Benfrey to handle. Despite being granted many men and much gold, he could not capture the most prominent and cunning of the bandits and rogues. In one armed confrontation, Lord Benfrey and his men came off much worse, bless me. At least we tried. Lord Benfrey organised a group of men to tackle the bandits in Rose and Canet. He successfully captured them. Perfect. So at least it worked out there. Right. My prisoner, Lord Dainies Corbury, is complaining about his dark cell. Leave him to rot. And he's at war at present as well. Right, so let's look into our prisoners. We've got 2. Can we call him for trial? Call Lord Dainies the second for trial. Do it. And we will call Maynard for trial as well if we can. We can't at the moment. Maybe it's because we're already calling someone to trial. So let's have a look how this trial is going to go. Lord Dainies of Corbury has demanded a trial by combat and is summoning his champion to Sevensport. He will remain in the dungeon till then. We'll let Maynard rot for now. Summer is nearly at an end and so autumn and the harvest is upon us. The feastings shall celebrate this time with food from throughout Andalia, including boar, goose in berries, salmon and lobster brought to Sevensport. As part of this, you must decide how much of the harvest is set aside. A large portion, always a large portion, just to be prepared. Can we now try and get Maynard to have a trial? It doesn't look like we can, so we're going to have to wait a moment. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Dainies Corbury now. The guards drag Dainies Corbury up from his cell and throw him at your feet. I've come for justice, he says. By right of birth and blood, I demand a trial by combat. You have that right. I will select someone to stand for his king. Oh, yeah, we're a skilled fighter. We could fight ourselves. And at the funeral, we'll do this first. As the Silent Sisters finish the preparations of the deceased, the body of Owen is brought to the local sept and laid atop the altar at its centre. Canopic jars of ornate design are placed at the feet of the dead, and the eldest child places the death stones upon the closed eyes of the deceased. One by one, those closest to the departed in life make their way into the sept and speak their goodbyes, shed their mournful tears, and pray to the seven for the dead. As the day winds down and the last goodbye is said, the body is carried by kin along the crown-lined streets to its final resting place. As the sun fades away, a great feast is held, and those who knew the dead recount stories of the life and deeds of the lost. I don't know if to handle it ourselves. Would Lister do it himself? It is for everything that he's done against us. Or you have that right. I will select someone to stand for the king. Who are our bodyguards again? It's been a while. So Ryan, Nana Harlaw, Lady Pia, John Hornbreaker, and we have room for one more. We'll go for Quentin Bottler. 2 Ironborns. Interesting. Oh, do we fight ourselves or not? Let's do it for the fun. Let's do it. We'll handle this ourselves. The court looks on tensely as you and Lord Dainies II face it. Oh, we're actually fighting him ourselves. Interesting. You scan him for any sign of weakness, any opening in his defence that you could possibly exploit. Now, he's a decent fighter, 105 combat skill. We've got 50? That's why are we so bad? Because we're fat and craven. Oh, God. This is funny. Even with injury, my strike shall be quick. My will is strong and the gods protect us. He is no match for my might. Let's go for speed. As you and Lord Dainies engage, you slip up and leave an opening in your defence. Lord Dainies II strikes to try and take advantage, defend ourselves. Lord Dainies II overwhelms my defence and moves to effortlessly whack Lady Fyrehands down hard across my hand. I look up at him, towering above me, ready to deliver the finishing blow. Yield? We lose health and personal combat skill. He considers our yield, or I'm not finished yet. We gain the trait wounded. You roll to dodge the final blow. Ooh. Not looking good, is it? We are craven, so we will yield. No. Oh, Dainies looks down at you without a hint of emotion on his face. No. All goes dark. Oh, shit. High King Lister has taken his last breath at age 22. He was slain by Lord Dainies II of the Giant's Lance during a trial by combat. A popular man, Lister counted on many people as a friend and confidant. Now he is with the gods and will be sorely missed by many. High King Benfrey, merely 1 year old, the realm is left in the capable hands of the regent and council. Long live High King Benfrey. So be it. You feel a sense of shock as you fall to the floor. Danie's Corbury's sword grievously wounding you and forcing you to yield. The prisoner takes his leave, walking out of the doors with a smile on his face as the entire court looks on in disbelief. I can't believe this is happening. Nice. You have a new heir. If your character dies now, you will play as Prince Enga of Andalia. Lesson when you and your house, I've been appointed as your regent. Your father, High King Lister Sevenstar, has died, and now it falls to you to decide whether the funeral will be a big and special event or just keep it a small private. He deserves to be honoured with a funeral, and all the lords and ladies of the realm shall be invited. All hail His Grace Benfrey of the House Sevenstar, the first of his name, High King of the Trident, and Lord of the Riverlands, Lord of Sevensport, Protector of the Realm. Right. Not good to have a one-year king. One-year-old king. Right, so Enga is the hand of the king and the regent, so we'll go off who we think he would have. The Master of Laws. Well, it's obviously not going to be either of these. We could go for Enga, Lord of Willowwood, who is more loyal than these ones above, so yes, we'll go with him. Master at Arms will keep Benfrey, we know he's loyal. Master of Coin, we will go with Ermin Bloom, as before. Spy Master, we will remove this Spy Master for somebody else. Do we have anyone we can trust? Not really. There's not really anyone there at all. So we'll keep him for now. We need a Maester. Maester Damon. Why are you not Maester anyway? Serve Court. Okay, so that's that sorted out for now. Collect taxes, please, in Sevensport. Improve diplomatic relations. I don't know who with. Let's try and make sure we keep the Ironborn on side. We could have need of them.
Nothing could stop him now. As Danes walked out of the courtyard, he couldn't help but smile as the court stood shocked behind him. The boy King Lister had been all too eager to avenge his bastard uncle, but that had proven to be his doom. The boy had been no match for his skills. One slip from the boy was all it took for Lady Forlorn to taste the king's blood, leaving him to kneel before Danes. Clutching his wound, Lister begged for mercy, but he would have none. With one slice, Danes became a man all in the realm would fear. Kingslayer they would call him, the only man who could kill the king and walk home free. Even after all of the setbacks he had faced and all of the waiting he had done, he had proven himself the most powerful lord in the kingdom. Now, for the second time in recent memory, a boy sat upon the throne of Andalia, with his uncle as regent. But Enga Sevenstar, barely a man, was no Benfrey Highstar, and would not succeed in holding the realm together, or in holding the respect of the lords. The king and his council had fought the Arryn widow with her accusations of murder would clip his wings, but it was now clear to all that the gods had decided his innocence. He was a free man in the eyes of the realm, and free to continue his conquest of the Red Fort. Originally, he had thought of his arrest as a small obstacle to be overcome, but it had quickly become one of his greatest achievements. Lister had been a fool to try and face him, and could have chosen one of his skilled knights to stand in his place. Some may call Lister a brave man for his actions, but Danes knew the truth. He saw the young king's eyes as Lady Forlorn swung for the kill. He was scared, realising the error of his ways. Danes wondered what the boy's last thoughts were. He imagined they were filled with fear and regret. Did Lister even realise his actions would force his son with a bastard's name to live the struggles of a child monarch? Just as before, many lords of the realm would begin to conspire and plot, hoping for a better position, especially with many questioning the new king's true legitimacy. Danes would stand as the true power in Andalia during this era. The light of House Sevenstar would fade. There had not been a monarch with a peaceful death since King Ambrose long ago. Andalia had stood as a beacon of Andal's strength, and it would again, but not with a Sevenstar as its king.
Your Grace, I humbly ask you to intervene on my behalf against the aggressions of Lord Danes Corbury, who is invading my lands in obvious contravention of the peace of the realm. I will be eternally grateful for your support in this matter. The Regency Council shall decide on this matter. The vote on whether to command Lord Danes Corbury to end his war against Lord Lyman Redfoot has been taken. The council voted in favour. Perfect, we finally got a loyal council. But Lord Danes has refused. Great. Of course he's refused. Lord Ragnar the Eagle has decided to release Lady Thivel of the Seastone Isle. Okay. We need to sort out our other prisoner, don't we? Can we call him for trial? Call Lord Maynard Greystar for trial. Yes, we can. We need to sort that out. Prince Aengar Sevenstar has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in aid of Andalia. It would be seen as the right and honourable course to reward him with certain incomes and grants, so to foster greater loyalty. He will reward himself. The conjurer produced a rabbit from a hat and then made a handkerchief change colour from brown to red, and then he simply vanished from the room, only to knock on the door and open it a few seconds later. You must perform this at my feast. All the guests have arrived at Sevensport, and it is now time to start the feasting to celebrate the life of High King Lister Sevenstar. Let the feasting commence. The guards drag a Maynard Greystark up from his cell and throw him at your feet. I've come for justice, he says. By right of birth and blood, I demand at trial by combat. Lord Benjicott Brightmire will be my champion. A trained fighter knight. He doesn't look too great, does he? We will have fight for hers. Who have we got? We've got Sir Norbert Seymour, a formidable fighter. We have Sir Pate Stone, a skilled fighter. And Maester Damon Sevenstar, or Lord Aengar Seymour, who's a trained fighter. Well, Norbert Seymour is the best of them. He's also a duelist. He should win, so Sir Norbert Seymour will fight on behalf of the king. Sir Norbert steps forward. I'll stand for you, your grace. You watch with glee as Sir Norbert drives his sword relentlessly at Benjicott Brightmire, finally striking a mortal blow and killing him. The gods have cast their judgment, and Maynard Greystark is guilty. Okay, what do we do with him now, then? Lord Maynard Greystark has been found to be guilty by the gods. What punishment shall he receive? The Lord dictates the council must decide your fate. He may stay here as my guest, while the council will decide the fate. Let's see what they do with him. I don't care about dragons. Lord Benfrey Highstar has used his attendance at the feast in Sevensport to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Daenerys Corbury has had one of his king's men murdered. He must be arrested and made to answer for this. And he's been locked away yet again, which is ridiculous. Why does he keep coming to the feasts? Some of my guests did not seem satisfied with the food, but I never would have thought one of them would have complained out loud. Sir Lothar said that a lot of nasty stuff about my food, and I couldn't help but feel irritated. As the feast begins, Lord Aengar Seymour presented a petition before the court. He says that the crime and banditry in Willowood is an increasing threat. We'll send Lord Benfrey to sort it out. And now our prisoners, Lord Daenerys, will call him for trial. Lord Daenerys has demanded a trial by combat and is summoning his champion to Sevensport. Lord Benfrey organised a group of men to tackle the bandits and rogues in Willowood. He successfully captured or killed many prominent criminals and publicly hanged them as an example to others. The problem has now been stamped out and Lord Aengar is satisfied. You committed much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed with the large centrepiece on the dais table. It represented a green lawn, surrounded with large peacocks' feathers and green branches, to which were tied violets and other sweet-smelling flowers. In the middle of this, a fortress was placed covered in silver. The fortress was hollow and formed a sort of cage, in which several live birds were shut up, their tufts and feet being gilt. On its tower was gilt the banner of House Sevenstar. Master Byra of Erenford died attending to chamber business. See, that's the Sevenstar blood in him, that is. So, who is the new Lord of Erenford? Master Tion. The brothers took it. Interesting. The guards dragged Daenerys Corbury up from his cell and throw him at your feet. I've come for justice, he says. By right of birth and blood, I demand a trial by combat. Damien Shycross will be my champion. Okay, Damien the Rash, who is a skilled fighter. He's strong and a duelist. He's pretty decent. Does he have the sword as well? No, he doesn't have the sword. Interesting. You have that right. We have Lord Aengar Sevenstar, our uncle, who's only a trained fighter. John Hornbreaker, who's a trained fighter, strong and a giant. Pate Hull. And Norbert Seymour, who is our best one, but I don't really want to risk him. Who do I want to risk most? We've got Pate Stone, who's a skilled fighter, but he's not great. John Hornbreaker, though. He's pretty good. He's 90. He could take him. Sir John Hornbreaker will fight for me. The funeral. As the Silent Sisters finish the preparations of the deceased, the body of High King Lister is brought to the local sept and laid atop the altar at its centre. Canopic jars of ornate design are placed at the feet of the dead, and the eldest child places the death stones upon the closed eyes of the deceased. One by one, those closest to the departed in life make their way into the sept and speak their goodbyes, shed their mournful tears, and pray to the seven for the dead. As the day winds down and the last goodbye is said, the body is carried by kin along the crowd-lined streets to its final resting place. As the sun fades away, a great feast is held, and those who knew the dead recount stories of the life and deeds of the lost. And so it is done. Sir John steps forward. I'll stand for you, your grace. You watch with glee as Sir John drives his sword relentlessly at Damien Shycross, beating him into submission and forcing him to yield. Gods have cast their judgment and Daenerys Corbury is guilty. The gods were not in your favour. Okay, we may finally be able to bring him down. The Lord dictates that the council must decide your fate. Oh god, here we go. I'm dreading what the outcome of this is going to be. Travellers bring rumours of fire and blood. I do not care. Maynard Greystar. Oh, so we can change. We will banish him to the Night's Watch. I don't think he'll mind that. Maynard Greystar has had Annals of the Black Centaur removed from their treasury, as well as some other things, and he's now a brother of the Night's Watch. He could become Lord Commander, to be honest. There's a very good chance. And then there's Daenerys Corbury. What do we do with you? We could send you to the Night's Watch. We could execute you. We could throw you from the moon door, which would be interesting. I don't know. I'm going to end the episode here, and I'll let you guys decide what we should do with Daenerys Corbury. So, yeah, we'll end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode.
Daenerys Corbury had long since been a stain and issue upon Andalia. A man who had caused issue after issue, and was nothing more than a menace towards peace. His ambitions for the Vale were clear to all. He wished to take it for himself, wanting to seize it from the Sevensstars and properly make it a kingdom independent from Andalia once more. For that purpose, he had slain Benfrey and taken the Eyrie, going so far as to exile his own son. But a man could only do so much before he would be caught. They had finally caught the man and he had asked for a trial by combat. His brother had given in to the challenge even though Aengar knew that Lister had been no match for the Lord of Hearthstone, and his fears had proven true, when Lister was not only beaten but killed by the cowardly Lord. It made him clench his fists, a hard gaze upon his face as he looked at the field ahead. But instead of having learnt, he continued once more. Yet, when they caught him once more, it proved fortunate that for some reason he didn't decide to fight, having chosen a Shycross instead. That was a rather humorous thought in his mind. The house which had been deposed by the same man was now defending him. Valyrians truly lacked any true loyalty or honour. The stories that they were told seemed true after all. As regent for his nephew, he had chosen the champion to be Sir Jon Hornbreaker, a formidable warrior and someone well worthy to represent the crown, to deliver justice upon the Lord of Hearthstone and end all that he had brought upon Andalia. Today, all that would end, that he prayed for. His thoughts were interrupted by the clashing of steel blades as he looked out upon the field where the two men duelled. It proved to be a rather even match, the two men exchanging blow after blow. Opposite of Aengar was the aged Lord Corbury. Watching the two men spar, he seemed confident within his chosen champion, clearly thinking that he would be able to continue with his machinations after this day. An arrogant man, but he had reason for it. He had flown high and far, but wings can only carry one so far before being burnt by the stars. The focus of Aengar remained upon the duel, watching closely as the two men duelled and exchanged blows. The very fate of Andalia could be resting on this duel. He knew of the power that Daenerys Corbury held. Age had not dimmed his wits or skill or anything about the man. That was what made him so dangerous. He had gone to great lengths to secure much of the Vale, and would never allow for even this to be the end. So, the hand returned to the keep, with them having finally seen some sort of victory. The best and most loyal guards would be placed to watch Lord Daenerys. He would not risk losing such a valuable prisoner again. But now, there was another matter at hand, and that was the infant king. The father and mother of the child had clearly no love for each other, with Lister always preferring that peasant girl. What was her name again? Who knew? He always had too much love for the common folk. His enemies already spoke of him being half a peasant. And the queen had been found pregnant while his brother was away, so there remained a chance that she had some affair. The question was with who, and if Benfrey was a bastard. What was he to do? There was one thing he knew. A bastard would never rule Andalia. He would make sure of it, even if the histories may curse him for it.